Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome to Life Reboot 2021. Thank you for making our time to connect and join us on this platform. It's a pleasure to have you here. If you have your friends around, please invite them to join you to be a part of this. Or you may want to call them if they are not there with you. Call them to join you. I promise you, it's a worthy investment. It's not going to be a waste of your time because there's so much to learn. Thank you once more for connecting. I'm here to introduce our next speaker who goes by the name of Emeka Ozo. Now, Emeka Ozo is a social media manager for different companies. He's also a social media consultant and an expert at what he does. He is that good, and I can speak about that. Emeka also provides marketing, social media marketing for businesses and companies, and this helps them to increase their sales. Helps them to develop their company, helps them to develop their businesses and grow. And they will say that experience is the best teacher, but who is a better person to teach you than somebody who already knows it? So you do not necessarily have to have the experience personally. You can learn from somebody who already has knowledge in that area and is going to help you, grow. And the good thing about having somebody teach you who has knowledge in an area is because they help you avoid mistakes that are avoidable. They've seen the pitfalls, they've made the mistakes, they've been here and there, they've done that and seen that, and they can teach you. It's just like somebody taking you by the hand and walking you through that path and telling you, oh, this is not where to go, this is where to go, avoid this, avoid that. And that is the kind of person Emeka Ozo is. He has a track record, a proven track record, having been on this journey for years. Back in 2011, he started his business, and today he has grown it into something successful, a successful company, a successful business. And one thing I love about him is that he has that passion to impart the same knowledge that he has gained to others. So he also involves in training other people, and he has a lot of success stories, as proof that what he's doing is working and he's able to teach other people. So I'd like you to pay attention because this is going to help you. The things he's going to teach you today, the things he's going to tell you today will inspire you. He's going to challenge you. He's going to motivate you. He's going to, push you to action, if I may put it that way. Like you hit the ground running because you are listening to somebody who has it. So ladies and gentlemen, I will urge you to pay good attention because this is going to be a great time for you. Pay attention and please join me as we welcome Emeka Ozo on the platform to take us on this subject of which he has a great knowledge of. Thank you.
I'm amazed you came through for me. Even in my darkest moment, Baba, you lit up my world. I'm amazed by how you care. I'm amazed you're so full of love. You've been good from distant past, and yet you're still doing good. Obinigwe. Every day you come true for me. I had no essence, had no meaning, Lord. You showed up for me. What did I do to deserve this kind of love? What did I do to sit at your right hand? What did I do to deserve this kind of love? for me. I had no platform. I had no anointing. Lord, you showed up for me. What did I do to deserve this kind of love? What did I do to see at your right hand? What did I do? Oh my God, oh my God. Every day you come true for me. Jesus, I had no helper, had no meaning, but Lord, you showed up. What did I do to deserve this kind? What did I do to see of your life? The Bible says it's not by power nor by might, but by the Spirit of God. It's not by works that any man should boast. It's not about how much you fast and pray, how much you jump around. The Bible says if it was not of the Lord's mercy, we would have been consumed. It's the Lord's mercy that is making us stand here today. Not because you are eloquent, not because you are too fine, not because you are too rich, not because you are too good. God's mercy. Open your mouth now and begin to the fire of God is so strong.
Hello, good day. All right, my name is Emeka Ozo. I am an online business consultant, Facebook ads expert, and also a youth leader at the Redeem Evangelical Mission. I would like to appreciate Pastor Debola Aino for giving me this privilege to share with you all. It's an awesome privilege to share about the topic Reboot. I have been told that I will be challenging the youth about rebooting. So this is how we go. Okay, so 2022 is a peculiar year. Of course, every year is a peculiar year, but last year changed a whole lot of things. I think we could say that last year was the real reboot. The world was reboot. And what does it mean to reboot? Rebooting is popularly a computer term where you restart a system. That is, after shutting it down, you then restart a system so that you can do something on it. That's mostly why we reboot. And sometimes the reason we reboot is because when a system stays on for too long and has been working for too long and you don't restart it, some things get in the way and clog in the system, and so what you see is that the system slows down, the system starts lagging. Things that are supposed to be faster, let's say internet browsing, using of apps load slower, you open a folder and it's taking a whole lot of time. It's telling you that this system is jam-packing, and because it's jam-packing, it needs to reboot. It needs a fresh start, and that is the message of, that is the part of reboot that we can take into our lives. We all need a fresh start. 2020 rebooted the world. A whole lot of things that were supposed to come ahead, like in 2025, was shifted to 2020. Online businesses became paramount. Before, it was there, but it was slowly building up. For those who are tech savvy, you're watching this on Facebook, you know that Facebook is no longer Facebook Incorporated, but now Meta. And why? Because Facebook saw that what happened last year speed up the goal for the metaverse. I can't go into everything metaverse and stuff, but if you want to learn more, you can connect with me. Where I teach, I share about what I know on online businesses. But today I'm challenging you as a young person. The reason for you to reboot. Rebooting is not something that will just happen automatically. Funny enough, it's not something that will happen overnight. Unlike the computer own, rebooting is a process. Of course, the computer own too takes a whole lot of processes. But where computers are better than humans or analog is the fact that these processes happen in milliseconds. So you can have thousands of processes happening in milliseconds. Like when you shut down your computer so that you can boot it up again, it closes a whole lot of hidden things, even things you don't know that are happening in the background. Why am I using a whole lot of computer terminology? So that when I go straight into what you should be doing, you should not expect rebooting to be things that just happen overnight. And you think, oh, I've watched this, and sometimes you might need to come and watch this over and over again, watch other speakers and presentation, so that you'll be able to get more and more into that shape where you finally can activate your reboot mode. And it is a step-by-step thing. So like I said, 2020 changed the world, and 2021 is like a test run. But in 2022, a whole lot of launching will happen, and the world won't wait for us. So as a young person, you need to reboot. You need to reboot in the sense that you need to have a fresh start. But first of all, you need to understand what can make reboot successful. What can make reboot successful? Like I told you, it's a fresh start. It's starting something new. In the Bible, God mentioned that, oh, behold, I do something new. It's a call. I do something new. But he now said, look not at the former things. That is an instruction. That is a principle. That means for you to experience this thing that is new, you don't need to look at what has been happening. You don't need to look at the former things. You need to throw away the former things or discard the former things. And that is where I'm going to. As a young person, you should be the one that should be transitional. The older generation find it hard because they are rooted in tradition. Some certain things traditional needs to change, but they are rooted. But as a young person, the first thing you need to have is a transitional mind. Though you need to have a transitional mind, it should be guided, but it's still needed that you have a transitional mind. Now let's look at let me throw some scriptural basis, which I'll be doing. I might not quote the exact scriptures, but I believe they will be shown on the screen, or you'll be seeing them in the comment section. So let me move on to what I want to start with. Like I said, God said, behold, I do a new thing, but for you to experience it, forget the old things. Now, the literate people of this generation, those who are said to be educated and literate, are not those who knows how to read and write. We've gone beyond that. Now, those are the people that can relearn, that can actually first unlearn so that they can relearn. They learn, they unlearn, they relearn. You don't stop learning. And you don't say, what I know is what I know. We live in a generation where information changes at the speed of light. What you know today is outdated by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning. I'm using tomorrow morning. In seconds, what you know today can be outdated. Do you understand? So, as a young person, you need to be transitional. There's a parable that Jesus gave. He said, you do not put an old wine into a new wineskin. Neither can you put a new wine into an old wineskin. Now, watch this. He said, if you put an old wine in a new wineskin, the old wine will spoil the new wineskin. And if you put an old wine, a new wine in an old wineskin, because of how the new wine is, it will burst the old wineskin, and you still waste the new wine. So what was Jesus trying to say? The new wineskin is a mentality, it's a mindset, it's a heart, it's a system, and the the wine skin is a mentality, heart, and system, and the wine can be said to be methodology, new knowledge, information, and so on. So if you take a new information and put in an old mindset and system, everything scatters. So both the knowledge will be wasted and the system. So what was Jesus' advice? He said, let new wine be put into what? A new wineskin. So both will be preserved. That is what you should do. That is the best way to reboot. To reboot, you need to clear out every old mentality, every old mindset, every old knowledge. And because I'm an online business consultant, I might use online business, for example. So, for example, you're a young person and you're like, there are no longer jobs, or the jobs available are no longer enough for everyone graduating. I want to enter into online business. And you need to understand, online business doesn't mean you alone you will create everything. There are a whole lot of branches of online business. Online business for instance, in online business, there's what we call the gig economy. The gig economy is where you get what's like freelancers, where you can work for 10 companies doing the same thing and you just be getting jobs, and it will be contractual. You are not a permanent staff that can be dragged and say, no, you can't work for this, you can't work for that, but you can. That is the gig economy. That is what online business have brought in. But do you know that the mentality of a permanent staff cannot run an online business gig? It might look like, oh, it's the same skill. No, it's not. So you see, for someone to leave what will I call it? For someone to leave a work, a normal permanent job, to enter into online business, he or she will need what we call to reorientation. Now, listen, I'm not saying all of the knowledge, no. Most of the experiences will help the person in online business, but if there is no orientation, some of the experiences will sabotage the online business. So you need to understand that. I will use another illustration. Let's talk about a building. For instance, a building, I want to build a skyscraper, for instance, or a 10-story building, magnificent building. But due to the current state, due to what I want to achieve now, so that there will be something on ground, so that I'll have a roof over my head, I built a beautiful duplex. And I stayed in there to achieve everything needed, the resources needed. Now I have the whole resources. I have the what? Whole resources. Two things is going to happen. First of all, when I was laying the foundation, I laid a foundation that 10-story building, that my 10-story building will stand upon and will have no issues. But now I want to move to the permanent site, like some people will say. So I now have to take off the duplex. But do you know that it's not every part of the duplex I'll take off? Why? Because some of them will still be needed, or will still be a part of the house, of the whole building. But there will be a need for me to break down so many other things. That is what learning, unlearning, and relearning does. When you've learned something, sometimes you need to unlearn some things, because the knowledge that brought you this far is not what will take you further. Sometimes in that knowledge that brought you this far, there might be a knowledge that is holding you down. And until you unlearn that knowledge and take a new knowledge to add to the one, you might not make much progress. Do you understand? For instance, our knowledge of salvation, there's some knowledge we had when we started as believers. But as we are progressing, there are new knowledge. Paul called it the milk, sincere milk of the world. From sincere milk, you move to the meat. Do you understand? Now, for you to digest the meat well, some part of the milk has to go away. If not, it will restrict you. If you still say you only milk, you will be growing, but not at the pace as someone who is eating meat, because there's a certain time in even physically that we will need more of the protein in meat and the calcium that is available in meat, so that we can grow faster than milk can provide. Do you understand? So you need to reboot. You need to reboot, meaning you need to relearn. You need to go out there and say, okay, in this thing, what is the goal I want to achieve? What is happening in this industry? Let me tell you, there is the Nigerian view of your industry now, and there is the global view of your industry now. Media buying, which is what I'm into, Facebook ads and stuff. In Nigeria, Facebook ads is still a big deal. Some people are still like, oh, Facebook ads. But abroad, globally, people are thinking of how to buy spaces in the metaverse that is coming out. So to them, Facebook ads is no longer an issue. They've solved that issue. They still do it, but now they are moving to the next level of advertising. Why in Nigeria? So if you're a doctor, for instance, think about it. What relevant skill do I need as a doctor that globally I'll still be needed? Reboot. You're unlearning what you know in the Nigeria space, so that you can relearn something that will help you relevance in the global space. You are called to dominate. You've been called to dominate. Genesis 1:26 to 28. He said, subdue the earth. He didn't call you to just subdue your village. Subdue the earth. Even when Jesus was telling the disciples to be witnesses, he said, okay, from Jerusalem to Judea to the end of the world. You are not meant to be stagnant. You need to understand that. So in understanding that, you now need to understand that rebooting is a sequence of where you need to learn. Some of you have learned some things. Then the next thing is you need to unlearn. As much as I love our parents and what they've taught us, some of the things they've taught us are outdated. They are irrelevant in this world. They are so irrelevant in this world. For instance, money. The money we know. Okay, for instance, money, you know what I was saying, money in our time, money in their time was fiat. Today is crypto, and crypto is not run on banks' knowledge of financial. It's a whole new financial thing. It works on a blockchain technology. That is a different, if you don't learn that and you are saying, hey, what my mommy, trade by barter style of money my mommy or daddy taught me, you'll be outdated. So rebooting is going to help you stay relevant. Rebooting is going to help you take advantage of opportunities. Of course, you've heard how many people are making millions in crypto. Another thing, before is draw and sell your drawing. Now, draw, convert to NFT, and you could make millions of dollars from just one NFT. And these are possibilities that are now available, but you need certain knowledge, certain skills to take advantage of that. That is why you need to reboot. You need to relearn. You need to relearn. First, you need to learn. If you've learned before, that's great. You need to unlearn. There are knowledge that can hold you down. There are parts of you. There are some part of information you've taken that were wrong and are hindering you from moving forward. There are some of them that are outdated. They were beneficial then, but they are not beneficial now. There are some knowledge, okay, for instance, even in relationship and marriages, what we used to know, the roles of men and women, it has been modified. It might not have been changed entirely, but it has been modified. There's a new generation, a new way people are seeing things. The way weddings are done now are different from how it was done before. People marry on metaverse, on games, and it is valid. All these things are telling you that the world is changing. So as a young person, you should be more transitional, because you see, the wealth is no longer in the hard handwork. It's now in the hard smart work of the mind. And if you don't understand how that works, so it's not, for instance, skill acquisition that makes you wealthy has moved from handiwork to skills like copywriting, skills like graphic design, skills like closing calls, skills like social media management, blockchain technology, internet of everything. All these things are the new skills. So if you are saying you're going for skill acquisition and you're learning tailoring, and you're not backing your tailoring with maybe copywriting, sales closing, traffic generation, you will have the skills, but you'll be useless, because it's the relevance of what works in the new world you're entering. You don't have all of it. It's now, you'll now be shortchanged. You have to maybe look for someone who have those skills to help you. As a young person, it is necessary that you reboot totally. You reboot totally because you need to understand that the world you're entering into is different from the world your parents lived in. The world, when you're stepping out of the four walls of the university, you're entering into a world where everything you were taught in university is just a tip of the iceberg. For it to become valuable, you need to add. You know, there's a part of the scripture where it says, add to your faith knowledge, to knowledge this, to this, that. Before it will get to that place where you enjoy the strong Christianity, there is going to be an addition. In the same way, what you're studying when you come out from the four walls of the university, if you've not added it when you are in the university, you need to add it after you've left the university for you to stay relevant. All these things I'm telling you is because, you see, the world is evolving. What is working is changing. Leadership, for instance, has changed. Corporate organizations are understanding we need leaders we don't need leaders again that are just skillful, that know how to get the job done. We need leaders that have emotional intelligence, that can work with people, because they are understanding that things are changing. Before, you force people to do things, you threaten them, even in jobs. I know before they used to use this analogy. If it's in your place of work, will you do that? Now, even people don't take rubbish in their place of work. There's a way you talk to some people, they quit and move on. Do you know why? There are options, there are opportunities now. There are jobs, skills that sitting down with your smartphone, you will make someone's 1 year salary in 1 week consistently. This is the world you're in. Rebooting requires you position yourself in a way where you are not disadvantaged in any way. You're not disadvantaged in any way. Do you understand? You're positioned in a way where both the knowledge of the old and the knowledge of the new is being combined, is being filtered in a way that now you can have a more superior knowledge. Because some people just have the new knowledge, forgetting that the wisdom of the old and the principles of the old doesn't change. You see, in information and wisdom, there's what we call principles, the underlying principles of life. You can't change that. And because you can't change that, it seems like the old people are right. No, they are not entirely right, but those principles stand the test of time. In the future, those principles will stand, like sowing and reaping. Respect is reciprocal. All those things are principles that will stand the test of time. But how are they presented? The methodology will change. And only those who have the understanding of the principles, you've learnt that, unlearn the methodologies and the methods that are now outdated and learn the new methods with skill. So I'm encouraging you as a young person, whatever is your desire in life, whatever is your goal in life, don't just stay in that place of tradition. This is how it is. There are going to be new set of doctors. These are not doctors that might need to touch the hands. These are doctors that might need to have basic computer knowledge of how to control apps, of how to read apps information and use the understanding of that to diagnose new drugs. These are doctors that we need to be able to understand how to use technology to offer medical health services. So now, if you're waiting for people to come to your hospital, the generation you're moving into, hospitals are going into people's phones to give them the cure that they need. And you are still planning to build a hospital, physical building. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you are not planning to also merge to it, something is wrong. You all know Netflix. Netflix started with just rentals. We mail your CD to you. After you watch, you return. There's another stamp is free mailing because we cover the cost, or actually you cover the cost. But when they were meeting an investor told them that why should I invest in a business that will die in the next 5 years? Because streaming will be the next big thing. At the time this investor said it, to the time when Netflix decided to go into streaming, Netflix was already making billions of dollars. But you would have thought that, oh, that man prediction, this is the way things are done, let's stay that way. No. They thought of the future and they moved into streaming, starting with their own Netflix-based movie. Today, Netflix is giving content creator right to create more content to keep people on their platform. When you want to watch Netflix and chill, that is rebooting. Rebooting means starting afresh, starting anew. That thing you're in, just look for the new phase. There's a new phase, there's a new level. You know, when you're playing gamers that are here, you understand. There's always a new level. And it is not the weapon that helped you in the old level that will help you in the new level. You need to combine it with a new level, with a new weapon. That's why sometimes when you're entering a new level, if you're using all this shooting game, you see that they will give you a new gun or a new weapon, because they understand that the damage of your former weapon might not meet up to the damage, might not be enough to deal with the new threat in this new level. Even in car racing, you will see that when you've drive your car to the next level, for a new race they will tell you upgrade this, upgrade that, so that the speed will increase, the acceleration, the handling, because this new race will need a better car. So rebooting is just you upgrading yourself. Going back to the computer analogy, when you reboot a computer, everything that is causing it to hang is cleared off. So the system moves freely again, and it starts like it's afresh. Of course, you need to open every app afresh when you reboot. The same thing, you might need to do some things afresh. Not really that you're starting from beginning, but you're starting a new method, a new thing, a new idea. So don't sit down there and think that, oh, it's how it used to be. Don't sit down there and think that you can't learn things anew. For you to understand, most of the big companies were in their late 30s and in their late 40s began to make the big wave. And even KFC that all of us love today, or the ones we go and eat in, KFC started at the age of 75 to start his dream again. So there's nothing you cannot start as early as now. There's nothing you cannot start again. Rebooting is a normal process. The world rebooted in 2020, and that rebooting process is still going on. Don't be left out. 2022 is a great year, and for you to participate, and for you to partake, and for you to enjoy and ensure that you get everything in 2022, you need to start now rebooting. You need to ask yourself, what is the new way of business? What is the new way of education? This thing I'm studying, what is the new way? You don't need to wait till you graduate for you to know the future of your business. Everything. Globally, people are projecting the future. They are thinking about the next crypto. They are thinking of where will crypto be very, very useful. In the metaverse, where will this be very useful? They are creating their future. You can join them. You can look at what they are seeing and say, okay, with this new technology, where is this career going into? Where is newscasting going into? Will people want to sit down and listen to TV news or Instagram news? Will people want the updates to be on Twitter or? So these are things you need to look into. Rebooting requires you to tell yourself that, okay, I've come this far, now it's time to unlearn so that I can relearn something new. Thank you very much once again, Pastor Debola, for this opportunity, and I believe that you've been blessed and challenged by this short video. I just want you to know that rebooting is necessary. The world has rebooted and they need you to do the same so that you can catch up and take everything that belongs to you. You are created to dominate, to take charge, do big things. The world is yours to take. There's a scripture I'll leave you with. The Bible says, the heavens of the heavens belong to the Lord, but the earth he has given to the sons of men. You have this earth to dominate. Everything you desire should be yours. God is with you. He's for you. So go out there and make impact. God bless you all.